What's happening, baby?
Everything's happening.
It's all happening.
And welcome, dear listeners everywhere, to this next variant of It's All Happening, your musical journey of and through the world we live in, where music is the antidote. I'm Andy Valeri, your producer and host of the program. This, the latest endeavor from Big Beef Productions, thanking you for making It's All Happening part of the soundtrack of your day. We're here for the hour, happening every week on your radio dial and internet streams. For information about this program, including playlists for the music and information you hear on it, how to listen to previous episodes, etc., please visit our website at bigbeef.com. We invite you to sign up for our mailing list so you can receive updates on new editions of the program and where on your radio and internet dials to find them, including information on previous episodes and where and how to listen to them online. Feel free to contact us directly by email at info@bigbeef.com. So let's get on with amplifying the music, as we've got lots to share with you over the next hour. We kicked off today's program with Paul McCartney's Too Many People from his Ram release from decades back, and now head down under via Nashville with Australia's Emma Swift. This from her excellent 2020 release of Dylan covers Blonde on the Tracks. So tune it in and turn it up, because
it's all happening.
When your mother sends back all your invitations, and your father to your sister, he explains that you're tired of yourself and all of your creations. Won't you come see me, Queen Jane? Won't you come see me, Queen Jane? Now when all the flower ladies want back what they have lent you, and the smell of their roses does not remain, and all of your children start to resent you, won't you come see me, Queen Jane? Won't you come see me, Queen Jane? Now when all the clowns that you have commissioned have died in battle or in vain, and you're sick of all this repetition, won't you come see me, Queen Jane? Won't you come see me, Queen Jane? When all of your advisors heave their plastic at your feet to convince you of your pain, trying to prove that your conclusion should be more drastic, won't you come see me, Queen Jane? Won't you come see me, Queen Jane? Now when all of the bandits that you turn your other cheek to all lay down their bandanas and complain, and you want somebody you don't have to speak to, won't you come see me, Queen
today's wordies: metathesiophobia. The fear of change, a persistent, unrealistic, intense anxiety about, and fear of, new or different situations, circumstances, or objects. People suffering from this condition may find change that naturally occurs in their life to be unacceptable and dreadful, to the point where they may even experience a full-blown panic attack because of it. In some extreme cases, people with metathesiophobia will do anything they can to keep the status going, even if the change is a good or healthy one.
think hope is born of participation in hopeful solutions. And none of this would have happened if the American people hadn't taken our eye off the ball the way we have in the last 40 years. So we, the American people, need to take some responsibility for the part that our complacency played in a lot of this, our distractedness, our lack of civic responsibility. You can't heal anything in your life by making it all about how other people have disappointed you. And the issue is, we were asleep for too long, but we are awake now.
Well, whether you can say it or not, keep trying to say it.
That's what's important.
You get that? Yeah.
Meanwhile, they're playing a long game while we don't have that time. I don't know how long people think that they have before the masses will reach the gates of the Bastille, because that's what's going to happen. It's going to be something is going to fundamentally correct itself or become fundamentally horrible. It seems to me that what is considered sort of the neutral idling of today is unsustainable. It's going to break. It's going to go one direction or the other.
If it keeps on raining, the levee's gonna break. If it keeps on raining, the levee's gonna break. The levee breaks, I had no place to stay. Mean old levee taught me to weep and moan. That mean old levee taught me to weep and moan. Got what it takes to make a mountain man leave his home.
You're listening to It's All Happening. Stay tuned for more, coming up right after this.
I used to drink too much, take my chances, stay in between the lines, stay true for glances. There was a coat I wore, but that was before you were born. that was before you were born. And many people been killed for the color of skin, told who to love and what they felt was a sin, clipped like a thorn. But that was before you were born. That was before you were born. The darkness of our past now stretches out under the moon. We've been lost in our own hometown on the streets we swore we knew, struggling to keep warm. But that was before you were born. To watch her fight the pain on that early morning, to hear your first cry, nobody gave me warning. I could love something more. Well, that was before you were born. Well, that was before you were born. Well, that was before you were born. That was before you were born.
Today, there's not a single county in the United States where a family of 4 can rent a 2-bedroom apartment with parents working at the minimum wage.
I just try to do whatever I can, and if I should cry, well, you know I'm only a man. To say you're only human, to say you're just a man, what does that mean? Checked out, and it's easy to be a heart of nothing but another man in a scarf, avoiding confrontation. Don't up this way. I've got no love, 'cause it's not in my DNA. You say you're only human, my what big eyes you have looking at me. When you're doing the Caesar, I don't know what you've done to me. I don't know what you want from me. I only know you're there. I don't know where you've gone from me. I know you don't belong to me. I only know you're there. I'm not an ordinary million. I'm not an ordinary million. I'm not an ordinary million.
You see the reason why we are spending billions of dollars in defense production. Why your family is paying the highest taxes in our history.
The mayor hides the crime rates, councilwoman hesitates, public gets irate, but forgets to vote dates. Weatherman complaining, predicted sun it's raining. Everyone's protesting, boyfriend keeps adjusting. You're not like all of the rest. Garbage ain't collected, women ain't protected. Politicians using people they're abusing. The mafia's getting bigger, like pollution in the river. And you tell me that this is where it's at. Woke out this morning with an ache in my head. I splashed on my clothes as I spilled out of bed. I opened the window to listen to the news, but all I heard was the establishment's blues. Gun sales are soaring, housewives find life boring. Divorce the only answer, smoking causes cancer. This system's gonna fall soon to an angry young tune, and that's a concrete cold fact. The Pope digs population, freedom from taxation. Teeny bops are uptight, drinking at a stoplight. Miniskirt is flirting, I can't stop so I'm hurting. Spencer sells her hopeless chest. Adultery plays the kitchen, bigot cops than fiction. The little man gets shafted, sons and money's drafted. Living by a timepiece, new or in the Far East. Can you pass a Rorschach test? It's a hassle, it's an educated guess. Well, frankly, I couldn't care less.
Up until 1987, the federal government actually required states to have what are called certificates of need. So they required that the hospital, if they're going to build a new hospital, if they're going to tear down a hospital, or if they're going to make a change that's big enough, that usually was over a certain amount of money, to the existing hospital, that they would have to prove that it was something that was needed. And in 1987, the federal government got rid of that because a lot of hospital associations had argued against it being something that should be there. They said it was too much bureaucracy and that it would get in the way of efficiently running hospital systems. And what we found is that they now really don't care about the need at all. And this has been a really unfortunate thing. So we see hospitals going to where the money is, right? And because we have a system where many people don't have any insurance at all, and many others are covered with Medicaid, which doesn't pay as well for hospitals as private insurances do, they tend to build where the money is. And so that's what we're seeing. We spend less time in the hospital than almost any other countries per capita. We don't have as many physician visits as most countries. So like Japan, this is one that, like, the Japanese per capita on average visit the doctor once a month apparently, which seems like a ridiculously high rate of use of the doctor. But still they spend quite a bit less than we do. We don't have very many nurses, and that's actually a whole nother soapbox to get onto. We need better nursing ratios in this country. We would have better healthcare outcomes for it. For those of you who aren't as familiar, to go through a little bit of what our healthcare system, our outcomes are, is we're less than average. Life expectancy in the U.S. has not been good since basically the end of the 80s. We've been getting worse and worse, and our life expectancy is actually getting shorter. We skip care really frequently. Our infant mortality is abysmal, and this is across the board, but even if you look at U.S., the top 1% of Caucasian people in income still have a worse infant mortality than those of other rich nations. There's no evidence of cost savings going from public administration of Medicaid to private administration of Medicaid. And there's actually some evidence of worse quality. These companies lobby to make sure that they can get more and more, especially healthy people, and we'll look at that quick, to be in their plans so that they can make the money off of them from the federal government. And more sick people are actually put out back into the fee-for-service to traditional Medicare. There is a much higher overhead with Medicare Advantage plans, which makes sense because they have a profit that they get out of it. And there's also just more overhead even just for their overall bureaucracies. So traditional Medicare has about a 2.2% overhead. Medicare Advantage plans have about a 13 to 14% overhead. And that doesn't sound like a lot of money when you just look at it as a percentage, but that is a ridiculous amount of money when you get to look at how much money is in our Medicare. U.S. renal failure patients, so people that have kidney failure, don't receive transplants very often. And this is one that comes directly from private control of our dialysis centers. So the U.S. has private, and in fact in this region we have many private dialysis centers, and they are incentivized to not tell people that they could get transplants, and that they might live longer if they got transplants, and that they wouldn't need dialysis anymore because they're incentivized to keep people coming back to get more dialysis. And so we have very low rates of kidney transplants in the U.S. compared to every other rich nation because we give our dialysis over to for-profit dialysis centers that make money off of dialyzing people. We can fix this. That is the important part about all of this. There are definitely ways we can do this. Move to Amend is an amazing organization and something that we definitely, all need to do more work on is getting money out of politics because it really does poison us on so many levels. So many of the issues we are all passionate about. Obviously, I do a lot on healthcare because it's what I see every day. But this is true issue across issue. A lot of them come back to too much money is being spent to not allow us to have the things that we should have.
You're listening to It's All Happening, your weekly hour-long musical venture into our world through sound and music. For more information about this program, including playlists for the music and information you hear on it, as well as how to listen to previous episodes, please visit our website at bigbeef.com. Sign up for our mailing list to receive updates about new editions of the program, along with where and when to find them on your radio and internet dials. Stay tuned, more to come, as
It's All Happening.
They got us in suicide singing, oh my God. In my mind, they got us living genocide singing, oh my God. In my mind, they got us living suicide singing, oh my God, oh my God. slam, bam, I come on scene, but like gasoline, you can tell I'm in the tank, like money in the bank. I smell appealing, but I'm toxic, can send you reeling without an inkling, keep you thinking. Cause you gave cash to the feds, left your school district for dead. You up in their head, but still they saying nothing's wrong. Selling firewater by outlawing the bong. Still believing the system is working, while half of my people are still out of working. Anonymous notes left in the pockets and coats of judges and jurors from Frisco to Jersey. Threats and protests, politicians, mob debts, trumped up charges and phony arrests. Stage a lethal injection the night before the election. Cause he got donation from the prison guards union. Oh my God. You and my mother got us living suicide scene. Oh my God. You and my mother got us living genocide scene. Oh my God. You and my mother got us living suicide scene. Oh my God. Listening to my stethoscope on a rope. Internal lullabies, human cries, thumps in silence, the language of violence. Algorithmic, cataclysmic, seismic, biorhythmic. You can make a life longer, but you can't save it. You can make a clone and then you try to enslave it. Stealing DNA samples from the unborn and then you coming after us cause we sampled a James Brown horn. Scientists whose godless progress, a four-headed sheep is their latest project. The CIA running like they're Jones from Indiana, but they still won't talk about that Jones in Guyana. This ain't no cartoon, no one slips on bananas. You really think that car killed Diana? Hell, I shot Ronald Reagan, I shot JFK, I slept with Marilyn, she sung me happy birthday. Oh my God, you and my mother got us living suicide singing. Oh my God, you and my mother got us living genocide singing. Oh my God, you and my mother got us living suicide singing. Oh my God. And we say, na, 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 na. And we say, na, 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 na. Well, politicians got lipstick on the collar. The whole media started to holler, but I don't give a fuck who they screwing in private. I wanna know who they screwing in public. Robbing, cheating, stealing, white collar criminal, McDonald eating. You deserve a beating. Send you home a weeping with the fat bill for your Caribbean weekend. But just about anything they can bust us. False advertising saying horrors of justice. You telling the youth don't be so violent. Then you drop bombs on every single continent. Mandatory minimum sentence. Cause he got caught with a pocket full of medicine. Do that again, another 10. Up in the pen, I feel so mad I wanna bomb an institution. Singing, oh my God. You and my mother got us living suicide singing. Oh my God. And you and my mother got us living genocide singing. Oh my God. You and my mother got us living suicide singing. Oh my God. Oh my God. And we say, na, 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 na. And we say, na, 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 na. See, we keep moving on, cause they're never gonna stop us, no, 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 no.
The biggest threat to America today is not communism. It's moving America toward a fascist theocracy. And everything that's happened during the Reagan administration is steering us right down that pipe.
Washington, D.C. that bears 58,260 names on it. those whose names that are carved on that wall are dead. For what? Freedom? If this country had listened when kids were screaming to stop that slaughter, that wall would have been one hell of a lot shorter. Yet we as a nation still wage wars of choice. Wars encouraged by plutocrats who never have to fight them. Peace is never discussed. Peace has somehow become a pejorative. Peace is no pejorative. Peace is essential to the survival of the human race. And those who advocate for war are a dangerous and fearful group who should be marginalized and disavowed. War is always the last choice. The dirty fake hippies were right. Now the oceans have been rising. The polar ice is melting at alarming rates. The climate is changing in irreversible ways. Our survival as a species on this planet is on a precipice. The science on this is clear. Humans are now in trouble. Because of our reckless stewardship of what we dominate, we have polluted this fragile jewel that hangs in space, our only home. The food we buy is contaminated. The toys we give our children as presents for Christmas are tainted with poison. The water we drink is rife with carcinogens. The fish in our seas, lakes, and rivers are so full of mercury that it's only recommended that we eat them once per week. We have now come face to face with our own extinction. I hate to say we told you so, but the dirty fucking hippies were right. We've elected sociopath after sociopath for the last 30 years to every level of government. Many of them slaves to corporate parasites that gorge themselves at the public trough, while the most vulnerable people in our society, the sick, the young, and the elderly, go wanting. Billions of dollars in profits are being snitched up at the expense and suffering of our neighbors by the jackals that comprise our pharmaceutical companies and insurance companies, both of which pipe their diagnostic wisdom and their fake concern right into our homes via TV and radio commercials. These legal drug dealers now sell their wares with impunity, and the insurance gamblers perform a slick game of three-card Monte right in our living rooms. Most of these drugs have a list of caveats that would make even the most dishonest used car salesman blush, and the insurance hustlers change the rules of the game just when it's time to pay up. Profiting from the suffering and pain of others, profiting from human frailty. Universal health care? It's too expensive, we're told. Gas bag talking heads on TV and radio have been complicit in this deception while being handsomely compensated for their assistance. I'll say it again. The dirty Hufkin hippies were right. Discount stores descend upon small towns in America like alien ships filled with cheap products bought at low prices from countries that pay their workers slave wages. Plutocrats love this business model. Mom and pop shops can't compete with prices set by these huge corporate parasites. And to no one's surprise, many small businesses in these tiny hamlets fail, leaving small towns filled with empty storefronts, and even in some cases forcing these same small business operators to go to work for the very people that ruined their livelihoods. Small town America is subsequently decimated by this invasion, often helpless in stopping it. Wall Street has cannibalized itself. Still hungry, feeling the pangs of their greed, they've now come to the government for their daily meal. And still, without a hint of irony, a spokesman for this ravenous tribe mounts a soapbox and has the temerity to rail against the evils of socialism. Turns out the socialism is for them. The capitalism is for us. Abby Hoffman once baited these banksters by throwing cash onto the floor of the New York Stock Exchange. To no one's astonishment, they demonstrated their insatiable greed. The gluttons couldn't help themselves. They stopped trading, got on their knees, and swept up the free loot. Wall Street should have been reined in long ago. I'll say it again. The dirty fucking hippies were right.
Humalog insulin, which is the first short-acting human analog insulin, it's called, came out in 1995, and it was $25 a vial back then. Novolog, which is exactly the same thing, just made by Novo Nordisk, a different company, came out 1 or 2 years later. Since then, there's at least 2 what they call bioequivalents, or basically generics, and there's another brand name on the market. And it's been, 25 years, and they're now somewhere between $100 and $300 a bottle, depending on where you find them, which is just nuts because there's no other thing, like in any other market system, technically it should get cheaper, right? Like if there's more competition, it's been around for decades, but they know that they don't have to do that because I can't not buy insulin, A study that showed that they push cancer patients out by imposing co-insurance on chemotherapy drugs. They tend to put money, or more and more medicines have been going into higher and higher tiers on Medicare Advantage lately. This is especially true for anything that is going to be a high expense diagnosis. So HIV medicines tend to be very high tier. So they'll technically cover them, but they're all tier 3, so they all cost a small fortune. So they're not really covering HIV then, they're just pretending like they are. And the same is true, COPD meds, inhalers are notorious for costing a fortune. In fact, I have many patients on Medicare that have to get their inhalers through programs in the company because they're just too expensive to get otherwise, which again just adds to more and more paperwork that has to be filled out and more things that cost more for the whole system. Prison population is another place where we spend actually quite a bit of money on healthcare that you just don't think about. You guys all know already that we incarcerate more people in the United States than anywhere in the world, which is a shame in and of itself and problematic. But all of those people need to get healthcare and should get healthcare, because if we're going to lock somebody up, we should really give them care. And more that is actually going to outsource private companies to give that healthcare. It is true here in Dayton, actually, the county jail outsources their health care as well. I'm not sure what company they do, and if you look at deaths per 100 or 10,000 inmates annually, it's worse for those private companies than it is for the ones that use public agencies. And this is a disaster. And again, another place where we have to watch that people, they slide these money in places where we don't even think about it. 42 states in the federal prison system actually charge co-pays to prisoners for visits. We put them in prison, and then we tell them they have to pay us to be able to get the health care that they need. That is, it's horrible. As it shows in Oklahoma, a prisoner who earns literally 5 cents an hour is charged a $4 copay. How could you possibly? So you're just asking people to get sick, especially in the middle of a pandemic, where we saw so many people getting sick and dying in prison. It is horrible.
You've been listening to It's All Happening, your weekly sonic sojourn into our world through music. Presented by Big Beef Productions and your friends at Strategic Air Command, where giving peace a chance is our profession. I'm Andy Valeri, your producer and host, thanking you for tuning in and making It's All Happening part of the soundtrack of your day. For information on the material featured in the program, along with playlists as well as information on how to listen to this and previous episodes online, please visit our website at bigbeef.com. You can sign up for our mailing list as well to receive updates on new editions of the program and where on your radio and internet dials to find them. You can also contact us by email at info@bigbeef.com. Thanks to everyone out there for listening. If you like the program, please feel free to spread the word. Special thanks as well to all the great radio stations who deliver It's All Happening to you over your public airwaves. Please tune in again next week for more audiophonic journeys through this world we live in, a world in which, indeed,
it's all happening.
The sky view imposter at his numberless address, and celestial protectors that you fly to. All carry-ons are locked inside. Your guns on the table, your non-psychoactive plea to terrestrial investors that you cling to. All valuables will take them now. The eyes of your doctor, they will find you no excuse, and they watch through the process when you think to not reluctantly accept advice. All is right on the best you make.
The preceding program has been a presentation of Strategic Air Command, a proud subsidiary of Big Beef Productions.